All right, good morning, guys. Oh, my camera's frozen. That's not good. There we go. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning. Welcome back, everyone. Let me fix this up. Good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Loud and clear. Awesome, man. Thank you. Let me just move these screens around, guys. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Big day for the markets today, guys. For you guys who are into Tuesday, we got big day today. Audio and video good, awesome. Thank you, man. Welcome back, everyone. Any of you guys who are new here, my name is Aaron, also known as Aaron Trades. Been trading gold futures here for the past 7 years, and now we're bringing these live streams to you guys, mainly focusing on gold here in the European session. So we had a fantastic trade on gold yesterday, guys. We took some beautiful gold buys live on stream together. And we'll see what we get for today. I haven't traded too much today. Haven't really been watching Asia. Was actually looking for some downside on gold today, but as Asia started to break back higher, I said that's fine. I'm just going to wait for London. So we'll break down all markets today, guys. We'll break down gold. We'll have a look at NQ. 1 p.m. Nice. 1 a.m. for me. Nice. Late night grind. Excuse me. Yeah, well, we'll break down all markets there, guys. We do have, if I just show you guys, we do have some big news today. CPI day today, 1:30 London time, 10:30 p.m. my time, but 1:30 London time. We got US dollar CPI, which is going to be very, very big for the markets. And you can kind of see gold's had a nice push up here today in Asia. You had a nice fake out here. You broke below support, broke right back above. Continued squeezing up today. So we'll have a look at that. We'll break down NQ. We'll have a look at some copper. Coach Hoop, appreciate tuning in. Nice pullback on Bitcoin. Nice. We'll have a look at Bitcoin. Let me just close my door, guys. I can hear the birds chirp in 2 seconds. There we go. Yeah, I hope everyone had a good day yesterday. God ended up having a nice sell-off yesterday on gold. We got the buys in London, and he had a nice sell-off yesterday. Yeah, there was some news during the Asian session. Yeah. Oh, sorry, man. Thank you, David. Let me share it. Let me share my screen properly. There we go. Cool. Thank you, man. So yeah, we got a big day today for all markets, especially for gold. And yeah, we did have some big spikes in Asia, big spikes on NQ, big spikes on gold. Lots of volume today. Everyone else can hear, right? You guys on Zoom can hear? Yeah, cool. Everyone else on Zoom can hear? Yeah, cool. So yeah, let me just move this over here. So let's do some top-down analysis here. Awesome, nice one, Rob. All good, man. All good. Let's do some top-down on gold. We ended up closing back bearish yesterday. We tapped right back into our daily level, which actually become daily support because we closed back above. So this is now holding as daily sup, which also means daily support. Yesterday we grabbed highs. We actually closed pretty bearish. I was looking for today in Asia to continue pushing down, to come back down into sort of these regions here today in Asia. However, we've opened and just pushed up. So you've had some decent buying here in Asia today. And I mean, you can see that before news. If today's going to be a bearish day on gold, then Asia and London can typically be the false move where you can creep up and you can have that big push down later. But right now, gold is looking pretty strong. 4 hours looking very strong here. Let me just move my charts. 4 hours looking very strong here on gold. We had that amazing bounce from 33.50. 4 hour close bearish. Tagged the lows here. Didn't quite come down that low. We tagged the lows here. Closed bullish. And then we've had this big push up in Asia. That's the reason I haven't traded Asia today. I wasn't really looking for these longs, but now that we look back, it makes sense. We broke above it, we held it, we squeezed higher. The only reason that I didn't want to buy this today is just because yesterday grabbed highs and closed pretty bearish. I was also looking for this to follow through. And sometimes your daily buys can be wrong, but it doesn't mean you trigger trades. For example, what I mean by that is today in Asia, I was actually looking for price to come up, grab these highs, and then have a nice squeeze back lower. However, once price started closing bullish, well, I was like, that's fine, no shorts. There's no reason for me to trigger shorts, therefore I don't take a loss. Therefore, I just let price continue pushing up and I go, that's fine. That's not my trade. Simple. Super simple. Especially with the good trade we had yesterday. I didn't trade New York yesterday. I got my one and done in London that we took yesterday. We took like, 43 to 45-ish ticks. And then I pretty much called it for the day. So we'll see what we get today, guys. As of right now, intraday gold is looking pretty bullish. Could we be coming back up to test these highs one more time? Or are we going to have a bit of rollover? The thing is, with it being CPI day today, I wouldn't be too surprised to see us have a little bit of a rangy day. Don't take that as a bad thing. Don't take that as a thing like we can't trade. We called some ranges yesterday in gold, from here to here, but still worthwhile ranges. Ranges doesn't mean we can't trade. Ranges mean we just need to lower our expectations and not hold to the moon. This is a pretty decent push up here. How much is this move in Asia? Wow, almost 250 tick move up in Asia. So I would imagine London's probably going to create some space before CPI either continues pushing up or we continue squeezing back lower. What's interesting with where gold is right now, we're at a pretty big make or break level, kind of a big breakout level from yesterday. We had this big support. We bought this in London yesterday. You had a huge sell-off here in New York yesterday, and now you've kind of pulled back. So we'll just take a fib like this, kind of around that 61, 71, sitting just above there as well. So we are around some potential reversal regions, but to be honest, it looks a bit too obvious for it to be a short. I can't also ignore that we have here Nice support. Nice support here. Resistance. We've broken above it, and we're also holding this. So I could say we currently, let me just make this 100%. Let's get rid of this. As of right now, this is the current range that we're going to be looking to play gold in London. How big is this range? 70 to 80 ticks. That's not a bad range. 70 to 80 tick range isn't that bad. Yeah, we'll have a look at all other markets. Yeah, don't worry. We'll look at NQ. We'll look at ES. We'll look at copper. We can have a look at Bitcoin as well. Let's just see what gold's going to do potentially for the London Open. What's going to be interesting here in this hourly is if we're actually going to close back bullish, or we're actually going to close bearish below. If we close bearish below, you know, we can go short. Or we could potentially look for some fake out buys. Fake out buys wouldn't be a bad play. What I mean by fake out buys is if price breaks this support and then closes back above, then great, then we can play this range. That's the only way we can kind of play this range here. I'm trying to form a nice 30-minute morning star, but I want to see how we're going to react around these highs, because this is a very, very decent push up here in Asia. So we'll give, excuse me, we'll give gold a little bit of time here, guys. Have a look at NQ. He had a decent push up today in Asia. Any guys who were on the London stream yesterday, we called some nice sales here on NQ to come down and grab these lows. Didn't quite come for the lows, so you would have got stopped there at break even. Before then, you had a really big gap fill in the New York session. You broke back above and had a huge push into the New York session. So you filled in that gap very, very, very quickly. And that was that big gap that we saw at the open, and then a huge fill into the New York session, which was a very, very good day for the stocks. And NQ is looking very bullish again. Look, what do we do? This is very nice here. This is nicer than gold, actually. We closed very bullish yesterday. We broke back above our key level, 23,000. We held it in Asia, and we've continued pushing higher. That is a very, very, very nice run in Asia. Look at that as well. That was your next liquidity high was here. Came down, grabbed the lows, held 23,000. That was a beautiful run in Asia. Huge run. Did anyone trade that in Asia? That's a huge push. Held 23,000, just bam, massive push. So I wouldn't want to be selling NQ. So you can get sells out of the way pretty much, and I'd more so be wanting to buy back up into these Asia highs. If I was going to buy NQ into these Asia highs, I would probably want to see a little bit of a pullback first. A little bit of a pullback, and then you get a better risk reward to continue buying up. Me personally, I certainly wouldn't want to be shorting against this. This to me is looking very strong. Very, very, very strong. You broke up, you held level, you continue squeezing. So NQ intraday is very nice and bullish. Oh, Nvidia drove news. Nvidia news drove the pop in NQ. There you go. Nice. Well, that's good for my stocks, because I have some stocks. I have a good amount of shares in Nvidia, so that's what we like to hear. I think it's gonna be a big day for all markets today, guys. CPI is gonna be very, very, very big. This is a huge push. Really, really big push. So I personally wouldn't want to be trading against that. Personally, it's not really my style to catch reversals like that. If anything, I'd want to be looking for pullbacks for a potential continuation into the Asia highs. 50-minute fake out on gold. I'd rather wait for London Open on gold, because gold's already had gold's had a very, very decent push here. So you could have a bit of a range here in gold. So if we're gonna have a little bit of a range there in gold, we want to be buying at the lows or selling at the highs, not trying to trade too much in the middle. Hey bro, hey man, gold hasn't reached the Audi 100 currency. Thoughts on being Audi fake out? Wait and see, man. See if it closes and then react. Don't think too much. Don't worry about it. Might be a fake out. Just see if it closes. It's looking pretty. I mean, it's looking very bullish right now. It's too early for me to say this could be a fake out. We're very, very bullish. So I wouldn't really want to be thinking about just downside, to be honest. This is on the currency, it's a 230 tick move up. So yeah, you may get some buys back up into the highs. I mean, you could, but like it's pushed 200 ticks. What you want to try and scalp 30? I'm not sure if it's worth it, to be honest. If we were buying gold, you know, we should have been buying back down here in Asia or at this breakout here. Here it kind of gets a little bit tricky to want to take new buys here just yet. If we're gonna, you know, if gold's gonna have a decent push up, I would expect a little bit of a pullback first before then getting that continuation. Because if you try, you know, if you buy gold this high here, you know, you're borderline just FOMOing into the push because you've already pushed 250 ticks. Now, it's not to say that we can't keep pushing. I personally, to get a better risk reward, I want to see a little bit of a pullback. Yeah, 30-minute fake out was huge as well, man. Yep, huge. So yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see what gold does today. We have the London Open in about 12 minutes as well, guys. London Open in about 12 minutes. We can have a look at some other markets as well. We got time on gold. I'm going to want to see this hourly closure on gold, so may as well wait for the London Open. Head and shoulders we spoke about yesterday on copper. Couldn't break back above. Continued squeezing lower. How is this daily? See, copper back down at 550. This daily to me on copper looks really good. You came down yesterday. You liquidated the lows. You held 550. Copper longs look pretty good to me here. This is the levels from yesterday. See here, you broke below the support. You held it as resistance. There's your closure. There's your exit, and there's your continuation lower. You came down. You tapped into previous day lows. Let's see if copper doesn't look too bad here for a breakout. That's already having a very nice bounce off that 550. I would like to see copper come back up into like 5. Let's just round it up a little bit. 5.65 ish looks like a nice retracement area on copper. Probably the nicest out of the bunch so far. Hasn't had too much of a crazy move just yet. I'll be watching copper. But yeah, anything else you guys looking at? Feel free to send it over. We got time here. We got London Open in about 10 minutes as well. We got London Open in about 10 minutes. Let's have a look at the S&P. Big look at that in the S&P yesterday. Big break back above 6,300. Grab the lows, broke back above. Continue squeezing, come back up into these all-time highs here as well. Look at that, nice. In Asia, came down, grab the lows. Beautiful push, beautiful push. But with ES being back at the all-time high resistance, you'd want to see a pullback, and I think you'll probably squeeze the highs one more time. Could squeeze it one more time. How's the hourly here? Yeah, you got some nice. You got the Asia highs set above there as well, so you come up and potentially squeeze them Asia highs. But again, if you're going to buy into Asia highs, you'd want to see a little bit of a pullback first. Pretty similar to gold. Gold up here can get tough. Guys. Yeah, that was a lovely move in Asia. Again, that's what's good, you know. I came into Asia today looking for shorts. And this is why your direction could be wrong, but you don't take a loss. So if I'm looking for shorts once we come up, and I was basically looking for Asia to come up, grab these highs, break back below and go short. But once you tag the highs and close bullish, well, there's no reason to short that. You're bullish. Doesn't matter what you think can happen above these highs. It's bullish. So therefore, there's no reason to short. So I saw this continue to break higher. That's fine. This is simply not my trade. Hello, what is your strategy? My strategy is price action and liquidity. That's the biggest thing we use is price action liquidity. If you were on yesterday's stream, you would have seen us catch this very nice scalp here yesterday, pretty much zero drawdown. But yeah, my plan is all about price action liquidity, understanding the key areas of where people, you know, for instance, yesterday we're trying to short, stop sitting above, so we're trying to buy up into that. Interesting thing here about the futures is the currency chart yesterday actually came all the way up, tagged these highs because it's so much more manipulated, and then sold off, whereas the futures actually never came close to these highs. Platinum, yeah, let's have a look. Let's have a look at platinum. How long have we got to London Open? We've got about 7 minutes here, guys. 7 minutes. This is when we last looked at platinum. Let's have a look. I know platinum's been on a huge run. Oh, look at that. Massive potential daily fake out, though. Look at that. Broke this huge resistance and then broke straight back below. That's a pretty huge fake out there. That's a very big fake out. So I was looking for, I mean, to me on platinum, this looks like it's coming for a bit of a pullback. However, you know, we do have to understand we have been so bullish. We had this huge swing breakout. Massive breakout. Broke back $1,000 and just huge push. So we are still very bullish. But that's a pretty strong daily fake out. You broke above, you broke straight back below. So you could see some potential pullbacks on platinum. This is when we last spoke about platinum. We spoke about these liquidity levels from last week. They got hit very well. So I would be looking for platinum to come back down and test this support one more time. 1,400 is a nice round psychological level as well. I would imagine you probably come up and squeeze these highs one more time though. Kind of like this. You get a nice liquidity wick and then you get the little intraday sell-off. So I'll be looking for price to come up for a little bit of a wick here. Tag these highs before selling off. You can kind of see here you're in this nice range. You broke out. So if you can have a bit of a pullback here, you can look for some intraday longs on platinum. Let's see, come back down. Maybe come back down, test these regions. Intraday longs before then, I'd be looking for something like that. But for the London session, I would be looking for some. I'd be looking for some longs below previous hourly lows to come up and fill in this wick rejection. We got London Open in about 5 minutes here, guys. We'll see if gold's going to get a bit of a breakout or not. See if gold's going to give us that volume that we had yesterday. Yesterday we had amazing volume on gold in London. So we'll see what London brings today. How is XAUU compared to GC? So the reason I personally correlate the futures chart to the currency chart is yesterday's a great example of this. If I just show you, let me get rid of this. Let's do it on the cleaner chart. If I just show you guys gold's price action yesterday on the futures compared to the currency, is if you look at these highs here, if you were watching just the futures, you would be watching for price to liquidate these highs and then have the sell-off. However, if you also watch the spot chart, you'll see the spot chart actually grab the highs, therefore the futures doesn't need to, and then you can sell off. So if you were just watching the futures chart, you would have missed out on that key liquidity grab. Now that might not be a big deal for some people, but for my trading plan, these liquidity grabs here are very important. So if I don't watch both, you know, and I just watch the futures and I try and buy up into these highs without realizing the currency's already grabbed it, then that can be enough to have a sell-off. So that's the reason I like to watch both. We've got hourly closure coming up in about 4 minutes, guys. Starting to find some nice resistance around here, which is good. Let's see if we're going to hold below, let's say, this support. That's our nice support level that we want to see price. See if you can break this, and then see if you get that pullback. How is the 4-hour close here? See, 4 hour on the future chart still very bullish. Again, same as the current chart, very bullish. So I don't really want to trade against that big push up. Not only is it a bullish closure, it's a 200 tick bullish closure, which is a very sizable move. A very decent move. How do you define liquidity? Pretty much this, in the form of double tops and double bottoms. For instance, our liquidity levels on stream yesterday were these lows down here. So once price came down, liquidated the double bottom and then broke out. That's where we took our longs yesterday. If I just go back to our other chart here. So we got long off this liquidity grab and breakout yesterday. So just a very nice double bottom. People, you know, jumping in longs, what they do, so their stops down just below. Well, gold loves to come down and liquidate the lows before then breaking out. And that's how we trade. Top trade for today, NQ. Now I think copper, to be honest. If I had to say it more, I think copper looks nicest. NQ's already had such a big push in Asia. So if I was going to trade NQ, which, I mean, it doesn't look too bad. NQ to come up and squeeze these Asia highs one more time. There's just been a lot of price action there at NQ. So if it ranges, it really wouldn't be that surprising. So I'd be a little bit cautious on NQ. We had some nice sells in NQ yesterday, but because you've had this huge push up in Asia, massive sell off, huge push up again. This is a lot of price action. So I personally wouldn't be too surprised, especially before CPI. See if NQ can create a bit of a range. But let's see. In 2 minutes, you might get an Audi fake out. Let's see. Let's see. Have a look at 60. Yep, we can look at the euro. Yep. Couldn't you say a 200 tick move is overextended? Yes, definitely. A 200 tick move on gold in Asia is very overextended. But does that mean you just want to short because you think it's overextended? Not really. You probably would have said the same here when it pulled back and continued running. You know, it's okay to think that it might be overextended, which I agree. I personally think this is overextended, but it doesn't mean we just short for no reason. We want to see if maybe this Audi can break out, confirm we're finding resistance, and confirm that this is a potential pullback, and then we can get short. But yeah, I agree. To me, this is pretty overextended. I wouldn't want to be buying gold this high personally. We got London open in 1 minute, guys. 1 minute. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the euro. Wow, euro already having a very nice sell-off here. Euro having a nice sell-off. Remember, guys, this is going to be a big CPI mover as well. I can't get it up here, so I can't really do it between us. I've never really traded to know how it moves. I'll see if I can get up on this chart, but looks bullish. Big wicks. So I'll be waiting for some sort of breakout of that. Longs look good though. You don't want to see, again, same as gold. You don't want to see a bit of a pullback first. It's a pretty decent move up range. I wouldn't trade in here, but if you can pull back, then yeah, you could get some longs on the DAX. I don't trade though, so like I say, take my analysis with a pinch of salt. I have no idea. I have no idea how it moves. It looks pretty choppy to me. Let me go back to this chart. The euro, again, the euro is going to be a big one that's going to move off the back of CPI. How did last week close? Because we're still kind of creeping down here. To me, this looks like we're trying to pull back to get another leg higher. He had a massive, huge push, pulling back. Now the question is going to be, I think to me, this price action here on the euro looks extremely corrective. You've had this big push up. Look how much you've been creeping down. Look at the price action on the way down compared to the price action on the way up. To me, this looks like you could be going for a big breakout on the euro. Again, I don't day trade the euro very much, but you could potentially get a. This looks nice for a potential breakout. Again, it's very likely if you're going to see a breakout on the euro, it's very likely going to be off the back of CPI. In terms of intraday price action, I would honestly look at this and go, it's very, very, very hard to read price here. You know, you're up, you're bearish, you're up, you're down, up, down. You kind of just have to take the euro for what it actually is, which to me, it's a pretty aggressive range. I do like euro to come up and break this trend line and come up for a much deeper retracement. But what I want to predict or try and trade the euro in here, personally not, guys. Personally not. I think you're going to get nicer setups this week. So we just had a decent bearish closure there on gold. We held this resistance here, closing back below. Now my only concern is with gold is you're still at, you know, this big support is a wick for a reason. It's a wick because it's big support. Well, if you look to the left, does it make sense? Well, yeah, it does, because you've got big resistance here, you got big support here, big resistance, big support. Yeah, the yen does. Yep, definitely matter. Yeah, it does. I used to trade the yen a lot. I'm personally not too convinced with this gold short. I would rather see potential fake out buys. I Where could we pull back into? Because look at how much you fake out here. You break below, you break right back above, and you have a really nice push. Held it as support, squeeze higher. So I would potentially be looking for, if this 30-minute can come down, wick some lows and hold the support, then I could consider playing this range. We do also have to remember, previous 4 hour on gold, which is a strong time frame, was very, very bullish. So do we want to be trading against this? Yeah, 4 hour looks bullish. Yeah, 100%. I agree, man. I agree. I personally don't want to be trading against that 4 hour. Now, it's not to say price can't push down. I'm going to be watching support here for a potential fake out long. Could be wrong, but that's also fine. But I don't like selling. I don't like selling gold here personally. Oh yeah, nice, Jamie. Yeah, nice. Yeah, you do have the view up down there as well. Back down here. So if you can hold this as support, yeah, I wouldn't be too surprised to see us have another leg higher. Because remember, you know, overall today, I do like gold to have a decent retracement. But I think if that big retracement is going to come off the back of CPI, you'd likely continue to see London have a bit of a fake out first. So I would be watching support to be formed down here on gold. I personally am not a huge fan of shorting this. Can you trade Bitcoin? Yeah, you absolutely can. You can trade Bitcoin here on Topstep. You can trade MBT, which is the micro Bitcoin futures. Which, oh, look at that. Bitcoin finding some big resistance where? Right at that key level, 120,000. Massive profit taking level as well. An initial reaction on Bitcoin is nice, to be honest. You broke above 120. Big wick rejection. Having a bit of a pullback. Could you pull back before going higher? How many weeks we got? We got 1, 2, 3 more weeks until the end of this month. So you do have a lot of time on Bitcoin. Are we going to finally, for the first time ever in history, close above 110 on the monthly and 115? It's looking likely. I don't think it happened. Huge push up. Decent sell-off here. So look at this. Very nice sell-off in Asia. I honestly wouldn't be too surprised to see this get bought back into 120 for a little intraday outlook. I've never day traded Bitcoin, so I'm not going to start day trading it, but pullbacks into 120 could make sense. But yeah, you can absolutely trade Bitcoin. So I've never day traded it personally, but yes, you can. Yeah, you can. Yeah, I like gold as well. I like gold longs. But the thing is, if you're going to buy gold, gold's just closed bearish on the 30-minute, closed bearish on the hourly, closed bearish on the 15. So you would need to see one of them time frames turn around. NQ here coming down, grab the lows, holding support. Looking like you're going to have a bit of a... Where's our other chart? NQ looks like you can squeeze higher here. But remember, guys, you know, it is pre-CPI. So if you do trade before CPI, you have to accept that risk. Whether you just want to trade a combine, you know, or you want to maybe trade a practice account, to me, it's a smart idea. Does it make much sense to take... I see people getting super eager and super trigger happy before CPI. Well, if you take a loss before CPI, that's probably going to be an emotional trigger. Therefore, just be a little bit cautious. Because for the rest of the week, we're pretty much clear. Let me just see. I don't think we have a... I'm just going to check my calendar here because it shows me London times. But I don't think we have too much for the... Oh, we do have PPI this week as well. Let me see. My head's in the way, isn't it? I just tried to duck. No. So we do we have CPI today, 1:30 London time. Then we have PPI tomorrow. And then Thursday, retail sales, and then nothing on Friday. CPI is going to be the big mover this week, so we kind of want to get that out the way. You know, we took a great trade. Yesterday on gold. Do we want to give it back straight away? I mean, you know, if there's a setup there, we could, you know, we can still give it a try at maybe reduce risk. But I'd want to see some strong confirmations before jumping in pre-CPI, and before jumping in a 250 tick push in Asia. Nice thing about our gold trade yesterday is Asia kind of sold off in range for a while, and then we got our trade. So you had a big push, ranged, and then you broke out. That's how the markets move. Big push, range, and then you might break out. Well, the range ended yesterday by the time we jumped on, which was fantastic. But here, the range is kind of just starting, which I do believe is going to be created more in between here. Before, then maybe, you know, something like that. Which is fine. Like I say, we can absolutely trade a range. And the good thing is we're at the lows of the range right now, which is great. So we can trade this range today. But with this closing below, we want to see some fake out buys here. Fake out buys to come up and retest previous hourly highs, previous 4-hour highs is about a 64 tick move. Keep in the back of the mind, you know, this 4-hour closed very bullish. Where do we close very bullish? Well, above some major levels. Look at this. Even if we bring this all the way across. Look at this. All the way across. Look how huge this is. Massive resistance, big fake outs. Huge support, huge resistance. Broke below, straight back above, huge support, broke resistance. So this is a big 4-hour level. That's the reason I'm not getting too eager into shorts here. If anything, I want to be looking for buys here. And upside, yeah, there's not the only upside targets I can kind of see is previous 4-hour highs. But again, on the futures, it's kind of a different story. But yeah, that's the only thing I can kind of see is these previous 4-hour highs. Other than these 4-hour highs, yeah, I agree. There's not that much to target, especially when yes, they actually grabbed previous daily highs and closed bearish. You'd be looking for today to continue pushing down. I honestly thought in Asia we could come back down, sell off into these areas before they're maybe getting bought back up into 3,400. Because that is my overall plan this week is gold longs into 3,400. I mean, unless today fakes out and breaks these highs, then you're gonna have a really strong drive. But before news, you know, anything can happen here. Don't think, you know, we're just gonna run or we're just gonna drop. I promise you, anything can happen on gold before major news. So we want to react. We want to be very reactive today. Today's not the day before CPI to try and predict too much or to trade what you think. We want to wait for these closures and we want to trade what's right in front of us. Do you consider ungrabbed liquidity high from the move down? 366. 366. This one, if you mean this one, man, absolutely. Yeah, left of that here. This one. No, I don't really look at that ones personally. I look at more the structural ones, like this, like here. I don't really look at these candles. Like for instance, when this push, I don't consider these liquidity levels. I'm also consider these ones. But I mean, it's kind of the same thing. And it more so lines up with this kind of breakout level yesterday. So you got, I think it looks nice on the future on the 4-hour. We have that previous 4-hour high, and you also have this big resistance that you could easily squeeze back up, retest this resistance, which does sit around that same high. So kind of guess you very well could see that high grab, but that's not really a high that I look as a liquidity level because there's no double top there. There's no reason for me to there's no. If a candle was here, pushed down, then came close to it, didn't grab it, then I would look at it. But it's just a breakout little top wick and continue to sell off. We've got the first 15-minute of the London Open coming up here, guys. Let's see if we can close back above some potential fake out buys. This is the reason I said I don't really want to short this, guys. To me, this looks like an early trap. We may see gold squeeze higher. So although we may see gold squeeze higher, I still want to see price close above. Can you scout the 8 to 10 point range here? Yeah, definitely. You definitely can. Especially in London, that's a great range. So all I want to see is this 15 close above with volume, confirm the fake out, and then I'll get my trade, which is exactly the same thing that we did yesterday. Any of you guys who were on our London stream yesterday, it's the exact same thing. We came down, we grabbed the lows, we broke back above, and then we got our great trade. And this was a really nice trade yesterday. It's pretty much the same thing. We're looking to do the same thing here that we did yesterday. So I want to see price come down, grab the lows, break out a little bit more, and then amazing. We want to see price come up maybe to like here, pull back, create some liquidity above these highs here, and then boom, then we can get our long. Then you'll kind of have like a little trend line coming down as well, or even maybe from what, like here to here. People will try and short that little bounce, and then we'll see if we can get long. But we don't want to predict too much. We want to see the candle close back above, because right now, intraday, since 7 a.m. here, we've been pushing lower. So we don't want to think we can go up. We want the markets to show us closure back above, let's say 68, and then we'll see if we can play this range. Definitely, it looks good to me. Patience will pay today. Patience will pay though today, guys. Patience will pay. Patience will pay. Yeah, this is Topstep X. Yep. Hi Aaron, good morning. Good morning, man. I've been trading for a year. Nice. Started with ICT like most people I see starting with trading. What's your opinion on his models? I don't really have any, man. Whatever works. Well, an opinion of a strategy doesn't matter. The results do. My opinion on a strategy doesn't make any difference. If the results are there, the results are there. The beautiful thing about trading is there is no right or wrong way to trade. What I might look at as, you know, a liquidity grab and a fake out, someone might call something else. That's the beautiful game of trading that we're in. There's no right or wrong way to perceive the markets. It's whatever works for you. Is it something that I use? No, that doesn't mean it's wrong. It's just not something I personally use. I'm very much more into simplicity in trading as opposed to too much analysis. I think what holds most traders back in the earlier days is analysis paralysis. You want to get good at just executing very well. And when you look at the moves on gold and NQ in the higher time frame, you just see overall major levels just being held very, very well. So there's no right or wrong way to trade. Let the results do the talking. If the results aren't there, then maybe it's time to try something different. You can't let an opinion doesn't determine if a strategy is profitable or not. The results do. So what I think of a strategy is irrelevant. If I think a strategy is bad, but you're getting great results, then who am I to say otherwise? We're getting a decent 15-minute push here, guys. We've got 17 seconds until this closes. Hi, Aaron, can you show which 1 hour liquidity low in gold that we hoping to grab before the move up? We don't really have to hope which lows are going to get grabbed. We just wait for them to get grabbed and then react. So if we grab these lows and break out, then you can say that's your lows. I don't really have any liquidity lows right now on gold. But I mean, you just grab lows and close bullish, so you could say it's that. But your job isn't to really hope which lows get grabbed. If you're grabbing lows and breaking out, that's your indication to go long. You don't really have to worry about which lows are going to get grabbed. Like for instance, here saying on gold, if you missed these buys because you thought these lows are going to get grabbed or these lows are going to get grabbed, then you're thinking too much. As soon as you grab some lows and break out, that's the market's confirming that these lows are enough. There's your trade. You don't have to think too much about what might happen. Just let the market show you. So for instance, it showed me that we've grabbed the previous out lows and we're closing back above. So that could potentially be enough. That's the beautiful thing about the way we trade is there's no thought process or there's no hope. If we grab lows and close bullish, take the trade. If we break lows and don't close bullish, well then you don't go long. There's no real thought process. You want to get as there's no thought process into a trade, or there's no like hope that we grab certain lows. For instance, here today in Asia, I wasn't trading Asia today, but I wanted us to come down and grab these lows. But if we don't grab these lows, but we break out and we've grabbed some lows and we start breaking out, well, cool, then just take it. Doesn't matter about what you think can happen. If you're grabbing lows and breaking out, just react to what's right in front of you. Target on the futures, man, is back at the 75. It's the same thing though. If you look at the currency or the futures, is the exact same levels, exact same highs. But yeah, I like gold to come back up into these highs here. So if the 15-minute here, just grab the lows and close bullish. That's the reason I'm not shorting. No bottom wick on this 15, so I can't jump in just yet. But this is good. This is what we want to see, guys. This is what we want to see. Aaron, do you have a copy of your trading strategy? How do you mean a copy, man? Like, do I have my strategy, like, detailed out? If so, yes, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yeah, no worries. Absolutely. Look, I'll hand deliver it. Come and deliver it to your door. So yeah, what we want to see here on gold is a little bit of bottleneck, and then we'll see if we get long. No way. There'll be a bill on arrival. So I do like overall shorts there, guys, but I like it to squeeze up at that time. Fax machine sounds like a great idea. Yeah, literally, man. Let's have a look. NQ, how did NQ close in the 15? Yeah, be careful on NQ, guys. Be very, very careful in this range. You've had two huge moves in Asia. Massive rip up, massive rip down, huge rip higher. Very, very, very active. That's a lot of price action, even for the New York session in a day. That's a lot of price action. So expect a little bit of a range. How long have you been trading? I've been trading for about 7 years, man. I've been trading for 7 years. I've been day trading futures for the past, I'd say, 4 years. I came from a swing trading background. Probably maybe 3.5. Probably 3.5, 4, yeah. I'm probably coming up close to 8, which is insane. And why do you always need a bottom wick? I'm unclear on this still. No, it's a good question. It's a very good question. I will show you. So you always want a bottom wick on a 5 minute. Doesn't matter, 5 minute bottom wick, but on a higher time frame, for instance here on the 15 or let's say 30, for example, which we have seen a lot recently, is, let's say if we're looking for longs, let's say this candle's just closed, and let's say this next candle opens and instantly pushes up. Well, if it instantly pushes up, we know that. Let's make this look like that's supposed to be a bullish candle, by the way, if you can't tell. If we look at most 30-minute candles, they all have bottom wicks, right? They all have top and bottom wicks. Other than here, on the odd exception, it's not all the time, but we're here to trade off probabilities. So in terms of probabilities, there's a very high chance that the candle is going to have a top and bottom wick. So if I see price open with no bottom wick, then it means that this could be the top wick for that to then, if you jump in longs, you can come all the way back down and create that bottom wick, and then you can get trapped. If I see a candle open and I'm looking for longs and it instantly pushes up, I won't chase it. Why? Because I know that that could be a top wick for it to then continue pushing lower. And that's happened to us a few times on stream. We've actually seen it on a 4-hour open. The 4 hours opened and we're looking for longs, but it instantly pushes up. And this is where I say to the guys, be careful, because if there's no bottom wick on the 4-hour, or hourly or 30-minute, it just means it can be created at any time. So if you FOMO into longs, before you know it, it comes all the way back down, creates that bottom wick, and ends up going bearish. So if I want to go long here on gold, let's say in 9 minutes, let's say this candle's closed, well, ideally, I want this candle to open and push down. Why? Because then that could be the bottom wick for the candle to then continue pushing up and close bullish. If that makes sense. It's easier to see it when it happens in real time. But if there's no bottom wick and you're looking for longs, well, be careful, because it can be created at any point. There's a higher chance than not that it's going to be created. We should probably add that into the strategy, actually. It's a good point. I might add that into what? I'm gonna put that into the, I'll put that into the community soon. That's a good point, actually. I should do a video on that. Yeah, literally, yeah, 100%. Yeah, we've seen it on the 4-hour where it's crazy. The 4-hour can look so bullish and it has no bottom wick, and right before the 4-hour closure, it comes all the way back down. So if anything, if I see a 4-hour open and instantly push up with no bottom wick, then if anything, I'm looking for intraday fakeouts to go short into that bottom wick needing to be created, and anticipating that the 4-hour is going to look something like this, and then I'm going to get short. No, I actually haven't done it, which is actually a good point. It's a good reminder. I'll actually do that this week. That's a good point. Something wrong with me. Yeah, definitely. Yep, do that. Current 4 hours, an example. on the currency. Yeah, open it with the top wick. I mean, even here, like this current 4 hours opening, you're kind of coming down. We're looking for this to create the bottom wick and then come up higher. Yeah, and you see it. You do see it on gold a lot. It's happened to us a lot on stream as well. I think even last week we saw it quite a lot. I think we got some trades out of it as well. I mean, even here, for example, same as our longs yesterday. Candle closed bullish, lower time frame, came down for the bottom wick first. So then we put the buy once it flips bullish, and then we're anticipating that this is going to close like this, and we're going to take advantage of the candle looking like that. And that's exactly what we did. But there's so many times, even on stream, where I say to you guys, the 30 will open and it will instantly push up, and I say to you guys, be careful because there's no bottom wick. And the amount of times that you try and chase this, and then before you know it, it comes all the way right back down. So in 9 minutes, 6 minutes here, we might actually have some longs here, guys. This is looking really nice. So you did it, yeah, I believe you actually did it here on the 15. You opened, pushed up, no bottom wick, came down for the bottom wick, and now you're reflipping bullish. So this is looking good here on gold, guys. This is why I said I'm not jumping in the shorts. Yeah, this one opened up with no bottom wick. Here it did. It closed bullish, no bottom wick open up. So what did it do? If you chased it, you went right down to drawdown before then to do what you want. So it's a very important part of price action. Understanding candle timings, especially on the high time frame, is very important. I guess I probably do it without even maybe realizing, but all the time, I'm looking down here. All the time, I'm always looking down here. The timing of the candles is very, very, very important. So with this, it being 8:24 right now. Well, is there much point me trying to chase this? Well, not really. Why? Because the next 30 minutes is going to open in 5 minutes, and it's going to come down, create a bottom wick before then going long anyway. So let the bottom wick get created and then take a trade, rather than entering here out of FOMO and then going into drawdown. Oh, you missed it, Sihan. Yeah, we had the buys yesterday on stream were beautiful, man. We took like 45-ish ticks across like 3 accounts. It was beautiful, man. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, the buys yesterday were fantastic. Just didn't understand your rules and how you came to the logic of your trades. I mean, I've been trading for 7 years, man, so I'll be very surprised if you picked it up that quick. But like I say, you keep tuning into these live streams, and it's a matter of time before you understand it, man. I would say if you weren't here yesterday, definitely go back and watch yesterday's stream where we took these trades live. I spoke about the whole reasons behind the trade, the entry, the stops, the management, everything like that. Same again today, please. I'll try my best, man. I'll try my best. Price not liquidity was removed. Yeah, cool. Nice. Excuses. Price should shoot up that bottom wick. Yeah, anybody has it by it. Yeah, nice. I like that. I like that. What's your sweet spot on taking profits? These liquidity levels. Reversal regions. So previous 4-hour highs on gold for me here would be a good profit taking level if we do get long. Why? Because there's nothing to say price can't wick out these highs and then have a bit of a pullback. So my exit for trades is purely off liquidity levels. We got a potential 30-minute fake out shaping up here, guys. We could have some longs here in 4 minutes. Oh, nice Ash. Nice, man. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Sniping the lows. What's been the hardest part of your trading journey? Wow, great question. Mastering the mind and mastering yourself. That's been the hardest part. Not the technicals here. That's the easier part. Not easy, but it's the easier part. Mastering your emotions, and not mastering your emotions, but learning to control your emotions and learning to recognize your emotions has been the hardest part. And knowing when to walk away. Knowing when to trade and when not to trade is the most important part. It's not about, my trading over the past 7 years hasn't got more complex. If anything, it's got simpler. Yeah, nice. Yeah, I like that. I wasn't sure I was not decreasing. I like that. Yeah, the hardest part is, mastering yourself. They're getting the consistency, and then there's always a barrier to overcome in trading. Trading is not one of them things where you kind of get to a level and it's sweet, plain sailing off that. There's always different hurdles to overcome in trading. It's something where you always have to be growing. Yeah, yep, 100% Ian. Yeah, me too, man. Me too. Me too. It's a very, very hard part of trading. Can you look at crude? Yep, definitely. We've got 2 minutes till this goes. 30 minutes going to close here on gold, guys. I'm not chasing it from here. I want to see that 30-minute confirmation. 30-minute confirm the fake out, bottom wick, and then boom. Then we'll see if we can get our longs. Let's have a look. How did you overcome your emotions? I haven't really. I wouldn't say I've overcome my emotions. I just understand them more. And when I feel a certain emotion, I know what's happened in the past, therefore I know how to react, therefore I know when to walk away. I don't know if you ever master your emotions. Maybe you do, I don't know. I personally have never found that I've... I still get emotions the same as when I used to in the earlier days. However, I just react to them very differently. Like if I used to get FOMO, I might still get FOMO now a little bit, but I just react to it very differently. I don't chase. I don't FOMO in and start loading up positions in drawdown for no reason. I understand my emotions and react to them. And anytime I do feel emotional, I just accept it and wait. Huge push up here on gold, guys. That's that 30-minute fake out confirmation. That's the buys we wanted. There's not been any high time frame confirmation just yet, but like I said on gold, this is the reason we went short in gold. Crude, very nice daily close yesterday. Wick the highs, close bearish. I've been speaking about these lows on crude for a while. Oh, you're actually already there. We spoke about it here. These lows down here. I like crude to come back down into 64. You've had a decent daily fake out and a liquidity grab. You can have the highs, you close bearish. So I would like to see this continue pushing down. You've had a decent push down in Asia though, so you'd like to see some support being formed, which would be below these lows, pull back, and then continued selling. Excuse me. This is the reason I said I'm not shorting gold, guys. So this could be the confirmation to go long here in a second, if we can get a little bit of a pullback. Yeah, I'm betting big, mate. I'm betting big. Do you ever add to a trade? Day trading, no. Swing trading, yes. For my day trading here on Topstep, no. I just have my entry, I have my exit, and that's it. Especially for trading London. It's very rare that gold will do something like this in London. Typically, London's a little bit choppy or a little bit rangy and corrective, which you can still get your great trades. But I find like gold, can do like this and then can do this before, then doing that. So I prefer to have my entry, have my exit, and if I want to get another entry, I'd rather just enter a new position. I add into my swing trades on personal accounts, but for day trading, I prefer just to have my entry and get out personally. Especially for gold in London. It's not very often that gold will have like a huge or a big enough move up and a nice little correction that you can add back in to get another move. Maybe more so in New York. But no, for gold in London, I like to have my initial entry and have my exit and be done. Oh, what have I done? I've broken it. Let me fix this. I've broken the screen. I fixed it? Yep. Decent 30-minute closure there. Coming down for an instant bottom wick, which is nice. Nice instant bottom wick. If you can come down, hold these levels, you could see a potential buyer. If you re-break the highs, 15's closed above. If you re-break it, it's potentially there. Remember, guys, you are trading a range, so just be careful. You are trading a range. If that 15 flips bullish, then you can take it. Stop loss is just, don't know, closure blow. Break blow, get out. You don't know the stop loss till you're in the trade. You guys, you'll see my screen if I am. Everyone's plans got out the window today. If I was taking it, I'll show you guys. The stop loss is just what's in the plan. What's in the plan? Closure below your exit. There's your stop. Is gold in London always choppy? Not always choppy. It can be, you know, rangy. But, you know, big enough ranges that you can actually still get good trades. So, for instance, yesterday, you know, London was pretty choppy from like, you know, here to here. But this range is still, you know, it's a 150 tick range. One contract, that's a very, very, very good range. Sometimes London Open can be quiet, like in here, and then you may get trades closer to like 10 a.m. Sometimes pre-London might be quiet. London Open can have good volume, which is what we did yesterday. Pre-London was quiet. London Open had the volume. So it all depends on it all depends on the session. Sometimes pre-London can have a good move. London Open could be quiet. You might get a bigger move towards like 10 a.m. But I think today you're probably just going to have an overall choppy day just because it's CPI day. That's what I'm saying. Like, you guys are going way too crazy. You're trying to trade before CPI. Like, even here in NQ, I'm expecting a bit of a choppier than normal day, given it is just CPI. If you want that long, it's there, guys. I'm personally not gonna take it. But no, London's not choppy that you can't trade. London's great. You can get more than enough trades to you could literally just trade gold in London and be done. You know, ranges on gold are, you know, are fine to trade. You just want to be doing it in good areas. Even if you look at this range from here to here, you know, from the highs of the range down to lows, it's a 100 tick range. Like, a 100 tick move in a London session's a fantastic trade. I think we took like 40 ticks, 40. What did we take yesterday? Like around, wasn't that many, about 45-ish. Yeah, 43. Nice. 43. This was, do fair. This is probably one of the nicest. Oh, sorry, Zoom guys. This is probably one of the nicest London moves you've seen in a while. So the lower time frame, this is a great London move. This is the one we took. This is the one we took yesterday. It was a beautiful London push. Beautiful London push. Lovely London push. So yeah, you might be ranging on the high time frame, but lower time frame you can still get good trades. Yeah, 200 ticks is huge. Huge. How do you get the VWAP tab at the right near price? I believe it's somewhere in here. I think. Oh, is it in here? I can't actually remember. Is it in here? I think it's somewhere in here. That's what I have on, maybe. If I'm going to get long here, guys, it'd be on a pullback. I'm going to buy here. Yeah, its label's cool. Thank you, man. Thank you. The reason I'm not jumping in here, guys, is, like I say, you know, do I want to trade this? Or do I want to trade this? Oh, I think we all know the answer. So, well, we didn't trade this range yesterday, so why would we start trading it today? Patience pays, guys. Patience pays. Patience pays. Not trading is also trading. Styles, levels, and price sales. There you go. Nice one. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, man. Remember, guys, on YouTube, drop a like for the stream as well. We'll be live here all week as well. If I was buying here, yeah, it's just an exit on gold. It's just any closure below here is a good exit. So in terms of the risk to reward, is it worth it? Well, where's our targets? Previous 4-hour highs is our target. Okay, cool. So what would our downside risk be? It'd be at least somewhere around here. So you're just about squeezing a 1-to-1. Do I want to trade a 1-to-1 before CPI? Personally, not really. Personally. If I just want to trade a 1-to-1 today, or want to get a 1-to-1, you know, this week, I think I'll have a much easier 1-to-1 than trying to trade this range personally. Let's have a look at NQ, guys. Not MNQ, NQ. NQ, again, like I say, I do like NQ to come up and squeeze these Asia highs. I would be very careful trading this range on NQ. I'd let the markets come to you. Let the markets come to you guys. Don't fight the markets. Don't predict the markets. Let the market show you their cards and then react to it. Even here, to be honest, actually, if you're buying gold here, I mean, I guess I would say any closure below that area could be a good exit if you want it. Still, though, personally, I'm not going to take it. So I think I'll get easier trades than that. Because what do you have from the flip up into the highs? 30 ticks. If I want to get 30 ticks today, I think I will get 30 ticks much easier than trying to get in this range. And for me, also personally, again, this is just my personal trading. If I trade a range before CPI and I get stopped out in that range, I'm going to be frustrated because I know I shouldn't have traded pre-CPI in a range. So it's just one of the things that's just understanding your own personal risk tolerance, I guess you could say. Got break even on the trade yesterday after it grabbed the highs because it's a bit late. No, that was a very smart break even, man. No, it was a very smart break even. If I wasn't in here once it broke these highs, I wouldn't be in from here to here, man. No, definitely not. We didn't know it was going to push up this much. Now that was a good break even, man. As soon as you tag the highs, that's a good break even. Thought process comes from experience. Yeah, it comes from experience and trauma. Comes from trauma of trying to trade before major news and getting chopped up and then stopped out before maybe the next move comes tomorrow. I guess it's a bit of logic as well, you know. What's the likelihood or probability that gold's going to have a big push before CPI or a nice clean move? It's unlikely. What are we likely going to do before CPI? We're very likely going to create a big range. Which, as I say, it's okay to trade a range, but on a day like today, if you did want to, I would say, you know, just fire up a combine. Fire up a combine or take on a practice account or, you know, forward test it, for example. Just forward test it and see how it plays out and then kind of take note of why it didn't work, what news you had for that day. Then, you know, you can go back and look at your journal over the past 100 plus trades and be like, okay, cool. Most of the time when I trade before major news such as NFP, CPI, FOMC, I typically get stopped out. Therefore, I'm going to be a little bit cautious on them days. Do you use indicators? If so, yes and why? I do not, man. All you see here is what I use in my charts, man. To get this trade yesterday, it was all about understanding just simple price action, liquidity, and volume. That's it, man. Do you have scalping strategies on the 1 to 15? I mean, yeah, this trade yesterday was a 5-minute scalp. We were in now, like, what, 10 minutes maybe? The 1 minute, I don't trade the 1 minute personally. The 5 minute, absolutely. Can take 5-minute scalps for sure. But I think some people get too caught up in scalping because they're trying to get more of a dopamine fix. They're trying to chase a thrill and a dopamine fix of trying to trade so quick and in and out. Whereas, like, it depends. Gold doesn't really move that fast. Yeah, there you go. Nice, mate. Gold personally doesn't really move that fast. So I've never really found lower than the 5 minute to be that consistent on gold. I still find even on gold, hourly 30-minute confirmation, amazing. 15 and 5 is purely for execution. I personally don't like to go any lower than that. Had a little 5-minute liquidity grab there, re-breaking highs. You say it's a pretty valid stop now. So again, now you're saying, where's the stop? Well, it's being created, so there it is. What do you recommend for people trying to learn how to trade to do? Keep the technicals very simple. Focus on price action. Have realistic expectations. And trade because you have a passion for the markets as opposed to you want to make money. I got into trading purely because I wanted to make money, and that's what held me back for so long. It took me a long time to get to a point where I actually had a passion for being able to read markets and call direction well, opposed to saying, you know, I made this much money. You know, get into trading because you, well, I mean, you're sat here anyway, so get into trading because you have a passion for being able to read candlesticks and have realistic expectations. You know, you're gonna spend months and months in trading in the earlier days losing, and if you can't accept that, well, you have to accept that. There's no if you can't accept it. If you want to be a trader, you have to accept that the first couple of months in trading, if not years, are going to be consistently losing. I consistently lost the trading for at least 2 years. And it's not really something that you can, there's so many things in trading that you can't, I always say you can't learn from a book. You have to learn from your own experience and losses. So, you know, just give yourself, you know, a year, 2 years, even 3 years. I was never really pressuring myself to have to make money a certain amount of time. I was like, this is a career that I'm going to have for the rest of my life. I'm in absolutely no rush. Whereas people are very much in a rush to make money fast, and that's, again, what holds people back for so long. Yeah, you're going to get a 50-minute breakout here in NQ. You might be first sign of volume. You might come and actually squeeze these highs now. The first sign that the market's actually breaking out and they actually have volume. And then you can get your trade. In terms of what would I recommend in terms of strategies, it's just simple price action. Just look at price action. Just basic support and resistance and cool market direction well. And then, if you want to refine later on, you can. If you look at gold on the higher time frame, you can just look back and see how well gold just respects, major support and resistance. And if you can see that that's how simple it was to be able to see this 200 tick move up here today, same as here, big bounce of support, 800 tick move, then you slowly realize that the technicals and having a super complex plan isn't typically what holds most people back. It's the ability to, when price is down here, to press the button when you said you would. So focus on good execution and keep the technicals simple. I do know there's volume in the... Yeah, absolutely, man. Size of the candles, 100%. If the candles in the 5 minute are very small, then there's probably not much volume. Which in here, there's not a lot. Here was nice. Here's not too much, but it can continue. And ranges, for instance, here. I would look at this and I go, okay, cool. No volume here. I'm not going to trade in here. But if you break out with volume, cool, then you can trade. Same as NQ right now. I'll assess this as being no volume as the candles are doing absolutely nothing. Bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish. So, okay, cool. There's no volume in here. I don't want to trade in here. But if this breaks out, cool, I've got a breakout. I've got volume. And I've got direction. Now I can take my trade. Whereas most people see this and go, oh, damn, I should have been in from here or I should have done this. No, this is good. This is the market showing you their cards and now you can trade. That's what you want to see. Yeah, I have the view app on here as well. It's not something I take trades off, but yeah, I have it on there. But yeah, trade safe today, guys. Like I say, if trading before CPI is an emotional trigger for you, then just simply sit it out and wait. If you were to take a loss today, you have to ask yourself, if I'm going to trade today before CPI, and if I'm going to take a loss, am I going to be frustrated at myself? For me personally, the answer is yes. I'm going to be more frustrated if I take a loss than happy if I take a win. There you go, mate. Yep, exactly. So that's your reason as to if you should be in the trade or not. Trading is like a elimination process. So 15 minute here, closed above, you're holding the support, breaking back higher. So if you were in this, you'd want to be managing risk here. No bottom wick on the 15, could easily come back down. If I was buying this breakout, I'd want to be stopped to break even, especially with there being no bottom wick on this candle. Exactly, Sean. Exactly, man. Being rich can wait till tomorrow. Absolutely. Absolutely. Give me 2 seconds. So with that being said, guys, I'm gonna I'll wrap up there for you guys. We've been on for about an hour and 15 minutes. I don't want to hold you guys today. I'm not in this trade, guys. The 15-minute fake out and 30-minute fake out was there. But like I say to you guys, for me personally, I don't really want to trade before CPI, because if I trade before CPI and I take a loss, I'm going to kick myself. Why? Because I know I ideally shouldn't be trading before CPI. So I'd rather let CPI happen and then see if we can get some good trades out of that, if not tomorrow as well. So if you guys did take that 30-minute fake out, good job. It is there. I personally was happy to wait it out. And even still, it's only, it's 20 ticks. It's a very, very small move. So I appreciate you guys taking the time to tune in. We had a nice trade yesterday. No trades here for me today, but we're clean. We're flat on the day. We're ready to go tomorrow. So trade safe today, guys. You got CPI. Don't force it. Don't revenge trade. Don't go on till. Be here to trade another day. And I'll see you guys same time again tomorrow. Trade safe, guys. I'll talk to you all soon. Peace. bye.